Hi, today we're going to talk about scope of work and budget changes. What to do when the unexpected happens. So, this is the fourth video in a series under a topic called How to Successfully Do a Home Renovation with a Friend or a Family Member. So, let's talk about surprises. Surprises tend to happen after the renovation work has started. Very rarely do renovations go 100% smoothly. Usually there's a little bit of a glitch. Now, let's see how a good renovation company handles them. So, there's several key things to consider. One is that surprises, which usually trigger additional costs, are brought on by the homeowners themselves. In addition to this kitchen and this bathroom, I also want to renovate that extra bathroom. I also want to add this light fixture. I want to add this. I want to add that. Or they may simply change things. The second type of surprise is when we open a wall. Lo and behold, the wiring is ancient, or the plumbing is no longer up to spec, has to be replaced. Or it can be something like I open some drywall, and guess what? The concrete has a crack, and there's water leaking through the crack that has to be addressed. So the question is, what do we do with these things? So in a lot of projects that don't go smoothly, the renovation company just keeps addressing each problem, uh, listing down the cost, fixing things, and at the end of the project, they give the owner 5 or 10 things that were not in the original scope of work. The owner goes, hey, I'm like 5-10% over budget here. What happened? The unfortunate thing is these were legitimate repairs, fixes, or surprises that the homeowner triggered, but because they were communicated at the end of the project, very few people like surprises of that kind, especially if it triggers a 5-10% extra surcharge. That leads to grief, disappointment, hurt feelings. So here's the thing, here's the best way to deal with that. So first, I think that homeowners and renovation companies should allocate for some kind of contingency, 5-10%. That could never even be used. You could go, okay, so this job is 100,000, whatever the case may be. Let's allocate an extra 5, 7, 10,000 just in case. And if that just in case happens, we'll let you know. We won't do anything without your prior approval. Which brings me to the first point. Any change has to be recorded, approved, and then communicated at the time that such change order or whatever unexpected surprise occurred. You should not wait until the end of a project, especially if it's a year, year and a half. You don't wait to accumulate 10, 15 things. Give the owner a bag of things to deal with at the end and go, oh my God, I have to pay an extra 20, 30, 40,000, whatever the case may be. Try and deal with things as they come. So if the owner comes to you and goes, oh, by the way, I want a chandelier here. I know it's not part of the original scope of work, but yeah, I want a chandelier. Then you as the renovation professional can go, oh, okay, yeah, sure, that's 20K, sorry, $2,000, for example. At $2,000, you have to add to your, just to say something, $80,000 budget. Now instead of 80, it's 82,000. Are you okay with that? So every time the homeowner comes to you with, oh, I want this, I want that, as long as you record it each time, give it to them for their approval, and they see their budget ballooning and they're fine with it every step of the way, then you're good. And if it's a surprise that no one wanted, where you open a wall and, oh, by the way, now we have to deal with electric wiring. That's 10 grand, 15 grand, or it could be more. What do you want to do? A lot of times, owners won't just cough up that extra 10 or 15 grand. They'll go, you know what, instead of doing this design feature in my kitchen or bathroom, I don't have any more extra budget. That's really all I have. For example, 200,000. Why don't we deal with the electrical and not do this design feature in the kitchen or bathroom. So there's that constant negotiation of, well, this is the impact of this change. This is the budget. Here's the surprise. How do we deal with the surprise? And that should happen throughout the project. The problem is a lot of renovation companies will have good intention, will fix whatever they see, go to the client at the end with a bill, expecting the client to pay the extra surcharge for all the things that they solve, not realizing that, you know what, the owner could be tapped out. That's as much budget as he can afford. But he wouldn't mind trading one thing for the other, or maybe not even doing that plumbing, electrical, or whatever fix that's required. Maybe he wants to do it in a later phase 2, maybe 6 months down the road. So the important thing is to always communicate, always record what the owner wants, whatever surprise you found out, have them figure out, well, what are we going to do about this? Are we going to fix this? Or are we going to deal with it later? Or not do anything about it now? And then think of a plan of action. If there's that constant communication throughout the process, no surprises at the end, there's no reason why a renovation project can't go well. So that's how you maintain good relationships with people that you're working with, especially if it's a friend or family member. It's to prevent these surprises. So always communicate, okay, this is what we found out, or this is the impact of what you want. We don't mind doing what you want, but this is how it'll impact the budget. There's that constant communication throughout the project, and there's no need for any grief, disappointment, letdown, whether you're working with a friend, relative, or even someone you've never met before.